Welcome back, guys. So right now, let's go ahead and install IntelliJ as our IDE. There are various options that exist. You can do Eclipse, you can do PyCharm is also an IDE. There's various ones that exist. Visual Studio, Visual Studio Code, there are various ones that exist, but for this purpose, we're just going to install IntelliJ. IntelliJ, I personally like to use that more than Eclipse. So let's just go ahead and download IntelliJ. So just go IntelliJ download, just look for that. And then you can just click on this, the first link. And then you have two options over here, right? By default, it'll just automatically know what type of system you have. So that's why Windows is selected. If you had a Mac, most likely Mac would be selected over here. And then obviously for Linux, you just go over there. Right now, you have both the ultimate version, which is basically the paid version, and then there's also the community version, which is free. So for our purposes, we can just go ahead and just use the community version. Again, it also comes with all of this, which is good, both for the paid version as well as the free version, like Java, Maven, Git, GitHub, all those debugger, as well as Docker. And all of this thing comes already preloaded. So I'm just going to go ahead and download the community version. I don't think we need the paid version as of now. So I'll just go ahead and do that. And I'll just hit download. You don't have to do anything over here. It automatically gets downloaded over here. So once it finishes downloading, you get this, and then just click on this. So you just pop-up will show. So on there, just hit yes. Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Just say yes. And then you're going to have this thing show up here. You're going to have this. So just hit next. I'm just going to keep it as a default folder over here. It's on the program file JetBrains IntelliJ IDEA Community Edition. Just next. Obviously, you have all of this, right? So one of the important things to remember, again, is select this. If you want to create a desktop shortcut, you can do that. Just click on this. Then you can open folder as a project. And then it's whatever ones you need. For now, I think Java is good enough. Other ones, you can select them if you need to, but you can also do that later on, no problem. This is very, very important. For just like how we created an environmental setup for the Java, same thing for this one. Instead of us manually doing it, we can just go add bin to folder path, just like we did for Java. You can do it for this one. You can do the same way, but except for us manually doing it, you can just click this button and it'll automatically add it to the path itself. So we don't really have to do anything. This does require a restart. Okay, so I am going to go hit next. Just leave it as is. That JetBrains install. Once it finishes installing, again, depending on your computer or anything, sometimes it may take a little bit more time, sometimes it may take a little bit of less time, so it just depends. But other than that, you just have to wait up until this thing finishes. So let's wait a minute or so for this thing to finish, and then afterward, we will most likely would need to restart. Okay. And again, you do have the option of installing other IDEs that are there. I personally have used multiple of them. It's just that for Java or majority of the programs that are out there, for Python, I like to use PyCharm. For Java, I like to use IntelliJ. I just prefer IntelliJ over Eclipse. I would say that's my personal opinion. Let this thing finish. It's taking a little longer than expected. There you go, it's done. So right here is just, completing this. Your computer must be restarted in order to complete the installation. So for this, I'm just going to do reboot now. I'm just going to do reboot now, so that way we can go ahead and get that thing rebooted. And so yeah, so I'll give you guys a chance to do that as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, guys. So we have our IntelliJ right here. So what are you going to do right now? We're just going to go ahead and click. Hopefully everything went well for you guys as well. This thing show up. So, you have two options. One is the config installation directory. If you already have something already configured or an existing directory or something, you can definitely pull it over here. But for me, I'm just going to say do not import settings. I don't want anything. I just want it fresh. So I'm just going to hit OK. And then this thing show up. Again, changing the background color, everything, we can talk about that later. Yeah, we'll talk about that later at a future lecture, maybe. For now, you should go on new project. You'll have this thing show up, and then obviously you have new projects and everything. And then you have all of this. You don't have to really worry about any of those location, ID of projects. So for the name, let's say, just say hello world or something. Create Git repository. I don't want to create a Git repository right now, so I'll just leave it blank. For the location, I'm not going to change anything. This is just, yeah, I don't want to change anything as of now. Let's say it's hello world. For the language, I'm just going to do Java for now. Build type, IntelliJ. We don't have to worry about maybe not Gradle or anything like that. For the JDK, this is the version that we have downloaded. If you don't have it, obviously you can also download another JDK by clicking here. But since I have this, I can already, and you can also have multiple JDKs downloaded. This I have 17 over here. If you had 8 or 11 or 12 or 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, whatever the ones that you have, you can also switch between the JDK. If you have different projects that may work on one, not the other, so it just depends on you. But I only have one over here, one of them, which is 17. So I'll just, that just pre-selected. And then you can add sample code. Sample code, I'll show you what that means. That is, in Java, if you want to write code, obviously you will need, it's not like Python or anything else where you just go ahead and start writing you can just start printing stuff. In Java, you need some additional information. So for that, it'll just add the sample code for you to just get started. These other ones, you can just leave it as is. You don't really have to change anything. Just leave it as is for now. Then you just go create. Once you hit create, this thing will show up. Obviously, you have all of these things show up right here. And then you have the source, which is the main. If you click on the main, so again, you have hello world, then you have idea. You don't have to worry about any of this. Don't worry about get ignored or misc XML, modules XML, workspace XML. You don't have to worry about any of that. Leave it as is. On the source, then you have hello world.iml. So don't worry about any of those. Don't worry about the external libraries. Don't worry about the scratches on consoles. Just for now, this src, that's the source folder. So just click on this little greater than sign and then click on main. And once you click on main, this thing will show up. It says main.java. Okay. And again, if you click this little plus icon right here, if you just click on it, then it'll just do this for you. So that the sample code that was there, that basically generated this thing. And right now with the upgraded, I guess, IntelliJ, it also generated a sample line of code as well, which is line number 3. But beforehand, what it was doing, it would only generate up until here, but except this part, except for this specific line, it'll generate everything else. So what are we going to do just to make sure that our IntelliJ is working and our Java is also working, right? Class is already there. So what are we going to do? We're just going to right click and we can run. You can also run through here. You can also click run over there. So, but in general, let's just go ahead, right click and run. And you can also do Control Shift F10, right? You can do right there, Control Shift F10. You can also do that. So this hello world, right here. If I want to change that to something else, let's say hello Java. Welcome to my world. You know, something like that. I don't know, it's cheesy, but it's okay. This thing will change from hello world to this. See, we literally just wrote our first line of code. And in tech, we usually just start with hello world. That's like the famous one-liner that we like to say almost every single time, just to make sure that everything is working. So yeah, guys, congrats. This is fantastic. You know, we just got this thing going. Moving forward, we'll continue with our Java lessons. And yeah, in the meantime, if you guys do have any questions or comments, please do ask in the comment section below. Please do like, comment, and share as well. Thank you so much, guys. See you in the next lecture.